So before you watch my classic foolish recipes, I'd like to dedicate this whole video to each and every people in the world suffering from terrorism. All my thoughts and all my love goes to my friends in the US and in the LGBT community. Peace, guys. Big love from us. Okay, back to the foolish stuff. Salut, it's Alex, and today in this episode of the Tartine Odyssey, we are gonna make an incredible and delicious fried egg, caramelized bell peppers and cherry tomatoes tartine or open-faced sandwich. This episode is part of a series about tartines, as known as French-inspired open-faced sandwiches. Those modern recipes are tasty, easy, healthy, and they will let you experience the taste of France wherever you are on the planet on a tight budget. Many people in the world reduce France, like the big small country, to its capital, Paris, and I can really not blame them for that. I was born in Paris. In fact, there is much more to it. Like, we have many different climates, ripe fruit and beautiful, colorful veggies. Start with a nice bell pepper or capsicum. That one looks like a chili pepper, and rightfully, because it's a chili. But on the Scoville scale, it scores at an unbelievable 0, which means it has no heat. Slice it in half, but leave the seeds. Make thin slices. Fry them on medium heat for about 2 minutes in order to start a caramelization process and to get a few charred marks. Then add a splash of water, cover with a lid, lower the heat to medium-low and let it cook for about 8 minutes. I would suggest you to just fry a bunch, place them in a jar, add some oil, cover, lid, fridge, and you can keep that for at least 1 week. At the end, bell peppers should be soft but not mushy. Set them aside. So until now, I had this trash can on wheels, but it was only a trash can. Now, say hello to my new friend. Ta-da! It's like a trash can 2.0. So obviously there is the trash can underneath. On top, there is something else. Kitchen cookingware, pair of tongs, one knife, another knife. What's this? Sharpie pen, all the things I need when I make videos. Of course, like the trash can, I really enjoy the fact that it's mobile. It's really handy to have, you know, a mini kitchen island with everything you need when you cook. Okay guys, that's it for this mobile kitchen update. Now let's go back to the video. So eggs definitely are the centerpiece of this beautiful tartine or open-faced sandwich, and also they are a classic staple food of French cuisine. Eggs are always affordable, but if you want to get them honest, there you need to go at least to free-range egg or organic, which is better. Apply a thin coating of oil, then crack the egg in the pan. You should hear a gentle sizzling sound. Eggs will need about 5 minutes in the pan. If you dislike the yolk runny, just flip the egg over at the end for 30 seconds or cook it with a lid. My spatula is blunt. Well, I know a blunt spatula doesn't seem like a big problem to you, but in fact, instead of lifting food, you will just crush it, which is a big problem. Crushing food, it can't be a small problem. So at the end of this DIY process, I get a really sharp spatula that lifts food really easily. Of course, you don't have to use an electric file to sharpen your spatula. I mean, you can use cheap regular sandpaper, it's absolutely fine. But let's face it, this looks good. And now to the bread itself. I'm using sourdough bread, which has that rustic and comforting taste to it. Slicing in diagonal allows for bigger and wider slices. Toast those for 2 minutes each side on medium-high heat. toasting bread makes sense for two reasons. The first one being that in this case you prevent the slice from getting soggy, which is always good. And the second one being that in this case you create an abrasive surface which will load up with all the flesh of the things you rub on it, like if it's a garlic, flesh of the garlic, or if it's a chili, like in this case, the chili flesh. Let's build up the tartine or open-faced sandwich. Instead of rubbing the toast with a garlic clove, just rub it with a chili pepper cut in half. Place the egg in the center. So the reason why I do not spread the bread first is because the yolk is our spread. So why would I add more fat when it's not needed? Add the bell peppers around it and a few cherry tomatoes cut in half. Finish it with a few slices of raw or instant pickled onions or a sprinkle of green onions. Or like I did, use both. The rules! Freshly cracked black pepper and flaky salt on top and you are good to go. Fried egg, bell peppers and cherry tomatoes tartine or open-faced sandwich. So texture-wise, you get a good crunch from the toast. You get some pungency and freshness depending if you went for raw or pickled onions, and you get some hotness from the chili rub. The indulgence comes from the egg yolk, and you also get intense caramelized flavors from the peppers. What really freshened that open-faced sandwich are the random burst of juices from cherry tomatoes. Right guys, it's time to do the account, and this time I will only be talking about money, not because I'm greedy, might be, but because I don't feel like you're very interested in the calories. It takes a bit of effort to do it, so if you're interested, let me know in the comments. So, the whole price for all these beautiful ingredients comes to €1.41, or in US dollar $1.57, which is really low, or in British pounds $1.12.
Alex, this is amazing. I'd like to take a bite of this tartine. Please, if you let me do...
Gosh! Salut! I hope you liked this recipe, and if you did, give it a like, thumbs up, and share that over your social media. You know the deal. Spread it like butter using the hashtag spread it like butter. I mean, it's always so enjoyable to spread the butter on a tartine. Oh yeah, spread the butter, spread the butter, spread the butter. Maybe I should stop that. I used a little pointy red bell pepper, which was really nice, but I guess we all have access to different ingredients. That would be really interesting for the community, I think, that you guys were to share what your peppers look like, no offense whatsoever, like the colors, the shape, the taste. Tell it in the comments right below, and also mention where you are. Also, people, click subscribe because I make new videos on Sunday, and it's most of the time about getting the posh out of French food, like that video where I made this beautiful goat cheese and caramelized onions and grilled peaches tartine. But I also make some pretty weird stuff on this channel, like for example that Chinese and quite authentic mapo tofu. And finally, I just want to point out that food should always, in all cases, remain fun. Bye bye, salut!